What's up, guys? I'm back again, and today what I want to do is talk a little bit about gynecomastia supplements. A quick Google search again, when you get on the internet and you start looking into gynecomastia supplements, you're going to see some of the big names, and there's just a lot out there that's just going to tell you like, hey, this is your go-to. This supplement right here will fix your problem. And they give you these like really cool looking before and after pictures of people using their supplements and how it can just make these drastic changes. A lot of them look like these guys had surgery, and it can be a bit to look at, and it gets you excited. It gets your emotions going. And guys, like I usually tell people, I'm here to tell you to just take a step back. Take a step back and think this through. And what I want to do with these 5 steps is to help you think about your decision without letting the emotions get involved heavily. The first step that I highly recommend that you take when you're looking into a gynecomastia supplement has to do more with you and not the supplement. You need to figure out how long your gynecomastia has been around. You really need to ask yourself, and this is not going to be, you may not be able to pinpoint this, but what you can do is think about how long that you've been aware of how long you've had gynecomastia. For some of you guys, it might be, a couple months, 6 months, could be a year. A lot of these guys out here, like myself, have had it for, multiple years. And the reason this is a big issue is because gynecomastia is going to change a little bit. When you first get it, it's more, you start getting a little swelling in that area. You might even have some discomfort. It's just tenderness, in that nipple area. But once you get to a certain point, that gynecomastia is going to start to solidify. That fibrous tissue is going to set in, and at that point, you're kind of playing a different game. You're not going to be able to just take something to have that dense fibrous tissue from the gland just melt away or something like that, like body fat. There's 2 different things. And that needs to be understood when you are looking at your options for treatment. Because if you choose that route and you've been dealing with this for some time and it's been pretty much stagnant, your gynecomastia has just been there and you haven't seen major change, the supplements probably are not going to do much for you as far as actually dealing with that fibrous tissue. Now, there's other things it can do, and we'll talk about that in a second, but you're not gonna get like a complete overhaul where everything's just taken care of and that problem's gone, unless it's not actually gynecomastia. If you're just dealing with your man boobs, you got extra fat in that area, that's a different game, and we can talk about that another time. But right now, as far as these supplements are concerned, you need to understand that how long you've had this issue is going to play a big factor. So figure that out first. The second thing that you need to do is you need to figure out why. Ask yourself why you have your gynecomastia, and don't just ask yourself. You can do your research and ask your doctor. Figure out if there's some underlying reasons, or what these underlying reasons are for you having developed gynecomastia. If you actually have gynecomastia and you don't have any idea of what could be going on, then when you're choosing a supplement, then you're also just shooting in the dark. And that's honestly what a lot of these supplement companies do, in a sense. They throw things in there that for fat burning. They throw some stuff in there that's supposed to help boost your testosterone. They throw some stuff in there that's supposed to help with your estrogen, and this, that, and the other. You got 6 different ingredients in there that's supposed to help with this, and this, and that might not even be what you need. What if you are an average weight guy and you happen to have gynecomastia? Is a fat burner really going to do all that much for you? How do you know exactly what's going on? So the more information that you can gather about your particular situation is going to help you make a more informed choice about the supplement that you want to choose. Number 3, you want to get your diet and exercise in order. If you aren't doing this, and I know it's like you kind of want to skip this part, you cannot afford to. And one of the reasons I say this in and of itself is if you go look at these supplements, go check it out for yourself, especially some of the more popular ones. They tell you like, hey, you need to be, have some type of decent diet and exercise program of some sort going on in your life. And if you don't, if you're struggling with your weight and you're a flabby guy, whatever it is, you don't got much in the muscle department, these supplements are going to be a waste of money. And they almost tell you that. If they're telling you you need to exercise, you need to diet while you take these supplements, that should tell you something right there, because they usually are trying to glorify their supplements and say, hey, this is the go-to, this is the game changer. And if they're literally saying, hey, exercise, diet, then hey, if you can't do that and you're going to go buy a supplement, just give me money. I mean, don't bother. So when you're thinking about this diet and exercise thing, you have to consider, if I'm dieting and I'm exercising, what kind of results am I going to get from that without the supplement? They're telling you diet and exercise, and that's a given. Diet and exercise is what's gonna help you push things along without any other factors. So if you're an overweight guy and you're trying to deal with this man boob situation, you start getting your diet and exercise in order, and you lose 15-20 pounds, your chest is going to look better. That's just a given. It's going to look better. You got more muscle, you got less fat, it's going to be less apparent there. So when a supplement company's saying, hey, do diet and exercise, and if you're an overweight guy and you start exercising, you start dieting, you lose 15 pounds while you're taking this supplement, I'm like, well, who's the winner here? Was it your effort or was it the pill? Odds are it was the work that you put in and the lifestyle changes that probably did the brunt of the work. If you want to take a supplement that's going to give you extra 5%, extra 10% of gains, which is probably asking a bit much even there, then go for it if that's what you want. But the majority of your improvements is going to come from those areas. And having said that, if you've already got that dialed in and you are working, on losing your weight, or you've already taken care of that to where you're at a reasonable weight, and you can tell, like, what I got left here, that's just gland. There ain't too much fat up here anymore. Then again, you can be able to narrow down the field a little bit. And I'm not saying you can't take supplements to help you with, your weight loss, but it's an assistance. It's a supplement. It's a help. It's a little bit of extra on top. But if you don't have anything underneath, then you're not really going to be hidden on anything. So this brings me to step number 4. Once you've nailed things down a little bit and you know what your big issue is, whether it's weight or whatever it is, then you choose an ingredient that's going to be tailored to taking care of that issue, or more than one. It could be more than one thing that you choose. But with these other supplements, like I said, they have all these ingredients that are going to be, hidden all these different types of areas. But if you know what your issue is, then you can just say, hey, I'm gonna do some research. Oh, okay, I see this ingredient is gonna help me. I can see this ingredient is gonna help with this same issue that I'm personally dealing with. Let me try this one. And you add one thing into your regimen, and you see if there's been changes. If you're starting to get a positive result, then great. And if you want to try something else, then you can add something else in if you want to. But when you just shotgun it, and it's going to be really hard for you to establish if that was effective or not, especially when you're making massive changes in diet and exercise at the same time. So it kind of needs to be, you kind of have to slow things down so you can figure out if you're putting your dollars in the right place and if you're actually getting the results that you want from the options that you're choosing. And so this last piece, actually pick those ingredients that are working. As you go through this process and you see something's working, that's when you can keep that there. Instead of, hey, just keep at it, keep trying it, 6 months in, you keep taking these supplements. When you're using just a few ingredients, you can really tell the difference of what is going on in your body. You just aren't going to know exactly where you fit in if, I introduce 6 to 8 different things all at once without, on top of major lifestyle changes. Take it one step at a time and see where you need to be basically putting the brunt of your effort. If exercise is giving you great results, then focus on that. Spend your time and energy more focused on, improving the exercise portion. If the food changes that you see are working out real well, then hey, maybe you start spending more money to make sure that you're consistent with your diet and whatever you need to do, whether it's buying tools to help you cook more efficiently, or buying more higher quality foods. You know, those are the things that you want to be putting your dollars into. And then after you've established that, that's when you choose the supplements, and you choose them wisely. So just be aware of what these supplement companies are doing and how they will play on emotion, and be a man about it, and don't be led by those emotions. When you can do that, you're going to be much more savvy in the choices that you make with your supplements. Guys, that's all I have for you today. I still recommend that you come check out my website, livingwithgyno.com, and just to give you some additional resources on how to walk this journey of dealing with gynecomastia. It can be a beast, and I just don't recommend that you do it on a whim. And again, my website has some different resources just to help you in that department. So check it out. I'll be back with another video soon. Appreciate you guys being with me.